A lot of talk today about whether or not the Fed is getting spooked by the Bank of England's decision to reverse course on inflation and buy bonds rather than sell them, and their growing fear over recession. So could the Brits' reversal on tightening cause Fed Chair Jerome Powell's backbone to weaken in the fight against inflation here? Russ Vought, former OMB director and president of the Center for Renewing America, joins us now. Russ, good to see you. So what do you think? Is Powell going to take any cues from the Brits, from the central bank of Britain?
You know, outside of another financial crisis, I don't think so. The indicators that I see is that he is in the Fed are now finally, and it took too long, are finally committed to tackling inflation and certainly learning the lessons from the 1970s, at least one of them, and ensuring that you don't make these efforts stop and go. But, you know, obviously what's going on there, you know, you have a prime minister that's trying to pursue supply-side economics of economic growth, and you have some of the market experts starting to freak out. And hopefully that does not cascade over here. I don't think it will at this point.
Well, the Bank of England has essentially taken its cue from the IMF. I mean, that's what's going on here. And that's not what Liz Truss, the new prime minister, wants to do. But the IMF, I used to follow the IMF when they'd give loans to these banks in Latin America when I was down there. In fact, Larry Kudlow and I went down to Argentina and Brazil in the 90s to follow the IMF and see what they were doing. They always gave the same advice: raise taxes and devalue the currency, which killed the countries, but it paid off the banks, which is why the IMF was doing it. They loved to pay off the bondholders at the big banks, and they cared more about that than they did about the effect that their policies were having on the countries. I think that's the problem, and that's why the IMF hates what Liz Truss wants to do, which is exactly the opposite: lower taxes and strengthen the pound.
Yeah, they don't care about growth. They're looking at deficits and just static economic reasoning. And now you add to that there's an element of wokeism when the criticism that they gave towards the prime minister was that it would exacerbate inequality. I'm sorry. She's trying to get the economy going. Right. Why on earth would they level that accusation unless they are captured by their own bureaucrats?
Well, it's the globalist view that they have, plus their complete ignorance about what supply-side economic policies actually do. During the Trump administration, we have to repeat it over again, Larry always points out that it was the blue-collar workers who did better percentage-wise in their wage gains and their overall worth than any other income bracket. So, I mean, the fact is that if you want more equality between the richest and the poorest and the middle class, you go for tax cuts, you go for growth, right?
Yes, you put the incentives in place to ensure that people have jobs, that those investments are being made in your economy, and that will make sure that people at the lowest ends of the spectrums have an opportunity to work on behalf of their family and take risks. And you can't fix problems in a country from a statesmanship perspective unless the economy is growing. You just can't. It's one of the reasons why the President Trump made the tax cut such an important priority, is that he couldn't get on to the other important issues until the economy was growing. And I think you're seeing that across the pond with regard to the prime minister.
But it also shows us something here, that the woke view of economics is the most awful, backward, regressive way of thinking. I mean, you know, all these people like AOC and the others with their $1,000 outfits and so forth, they're not really caring as much about the middle class as they are about maintaining the power of the elite that controls government, because that's where they think all the power ultimately will lie. And that's where all these policies are going, by the way, to have more and more centralized control of the economy.
Commanding control. They hate the freedom that comes with being able to spend your own money. They want it to be their money, and that's why they call it government's money, and they use it so that they can control by dispensing it and creating blocks of people, beneficiaries, sectors of the economy that are being subsidized, that are dependent on the federal government and therefore reliant, and that is their control. And freedom's the opposite. Freedom's what gives the ability of the American people to say, We're going to raise it ourselves. We're going to invest it ourselves. We're going to build this great country, and we're going to get it growing again. And that's our vision, and it's not theirs.
Well, freedom is their enemy, whether it's talking about economics or whether it's talking about censorship on the internet or whatever. Freedom clearly is the enemy of the progressives if it interferes with their power and their particular views. They're not for it. They're willing to censor before they give in to freedom. And I hope that becomes the centerpiece of the election coming up. Russ Vought, great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.